but I fixed it.
Oh God, what makes you skin?
Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. Today we have a real special show. This is my friend Shell. We're live in Washington, D.C. Well, actually, it's not live like when you get this. I don't know when you're going to get this. And we're both kind of stoned. And Shell is a cannabis activist, and she has some really important things to say. And I'm not going to try to tell you what she's going to have to say. She's going to say whatever she damn well pleases. Shell, hon, take the floor. Tell
my
us
goodness,
what's
really?
important
I
to
thought
you.
you were gonna like ask me questions.
Okay, well, that's the thing is I don't feel comfortable being like a Barbara Walters
No,
getting
okay,
up
I gotcha.
somebody,
All right,
but like tell
all right.
my audience what's important to
What's
you
my
and
part of the cannabis movement
how
is?
you fit into Washington D.C. with this.
Oh goodness. So, what I do is decarceration, along with descheduling. Not we're not criminalizing. We descheduling, getting it totally off of everything because cannabis is less toxic than everything we can think of. Even cucumbers have people have more allergies to them. So I have a mission. It's no one belongs in jail for a plant. That everybody who has been harmed by the criminal justice system in the cannabis world needs to be made whole. That all the people that are incarcerated currently need to be released immediately. But up in Congress, asking them for that, asking for patient square rights, asking for other things. But my immediate thing is release. We have now still a little under 40 federal prisoners who are incarcerated for long sentences, including life, for strictly cannabis related offenses, for just pot. So they're doing life sentences in federal correctional institutions with really hardcore prisoners, and many of them are elderly and have been there 20, 30 years already. I have friends doing 18 years in state penitentiaries for ounces. People who are doing life in prison for joints because of the three strike laws that were affected.
Terrible.
We have worked on the federal level really hard and gotten that. The state levels have been left behind. My little state of Delaware, they're like, oh, we just don't have any cannabis prisoners. We can swear we don't. We know we don't. Until I showed them, we had a cannabis lifer, a guy who had 3 strikes, and his first offense was 5 nickelbacks.
Oh,
No, it was 4 Nickelbacks. Sorry about that. I'm exaggerating. He only had 4 of the Nickelbacks, which would have been about what I roll in a regular joint. One.
that's terrible.
Yeah, it is, and it bought him his first strike, and so then he was already had a criminal record. Good luck finding a job, and blah blah blah. Life goes downhill, and that's the story of all of ours. And yeah, a lot of them. I wouldn't say that they're all people of color, but the criminalization it is racist. It isn't human, and the criminal justice system isn't just or anything. So, decarcerating everyone, no one belongs in jail for a plant. Cannabis is a vitamin. It's a mineral that makes your brain work better. It helps the human body heal, helps the body do all sorts of things. It's why we have created all the diseases we have in the last 70 years, because we have a cannabis deficiency. THC, CBD deficiencies are what's causing most of the brain-related things that are going on right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know that we have cannabinol receptors in the brain. That's why so many illnesses respond favorably to treatment with cannabis. I even know that it makes arthritis pain all but disappear from personal experience. So I think it's good to keep some THC levels solid in your bloodstream. It seems to be helpful for so many things.
Well, mother's milk has it because infant's brain is the biggest thing, the fastest thing that's growing, and it's for your brain. We all should have had it. We all should need it, and that the government is illegally deprived us of it, incarcerated us for it, done all those things. Yeah, we need to fight.
So now, since you have been living in Washington D.C. for a while, and I am growing to really love Washington D.C., could you tell me and my audience intricacies of the pot laws for people in Washington D.C. Say you want to smoke in public,
Okay.
people
Well,
think it's automatically
literally,
legal.
you're not allowed to legally smoke in public. Okay, the laws of DC say if you're a DC resident and you're not living in public housing, because federal public housing doesn't allow it. But if you're a DC resident living in non-federal housing, you are allowed to grow as many of your plants, and then you're allowed to gift it to your friends. You're allowed to share it. You're allowed to do all those things.
Growing,
Yes,
growing is good.
Yeah, so growing is really good, and everybody can have the medicine of their choice, and people
Oh.
can get that stuff. And the
But you have
dispensaries
to you have to have a legal residency here
you
that you
have
can
to
prove
have
to
you
grow.
have to have a residence where your landlord allows you to grow, and federal housing doesn't allow
Oh
that because
yeah.
it's federal housing, and they don't allow the cannabis laws.
And so,
But in
does that
DC,
mean any of my friends who get subsidized housing, they would not be able to get away with it?
um,
Because there's
that's
somebody I'm
tricky.
thinking of.
Tricky, and most people depends on if they're activists or not. People who are activists go for it, and the people who want to stick within the letter of the law say no. In fact, like, you cannot sell your cannabis in DC. You can grow it all day long. You can have it for yourself, press it, use it for whatever you want, gift it to all your friends, but you're not allowed to legally
Yeah, I heard
sell
you could
it.
sell other things like T-shirts or
Now,
overpriced
that's a way
clothes,
to get
and then
around the
excuse me,
law.
and then
Right.
give some weed with it.
You're gifting the weed, but selling a T-shirt. So you sell a $5 T-shirt for $60, and you gift them the weed. So it's not. It's technically you're selling weed, but the law has allowed it. So there's a few shops around that do that. It's very pricey and expensive compared to the black market, and more expensive than the dispensary system, which the medical marijuana card system in DC, accepts most out-of-state card holders, as long as they're DC compliant. So Virginia and Oregon, a couple states that have cards, aren't DC compliant, so they can't take them. But most other states, California, Nevada, all these other states, you can come down from Maine and use your cannabis card here.
I know New Jersey has what I thought were the nation's strictest medical marijuana laws. I know somebody, my brother, in fact, can get medical.
Yeah,
But,
I don't know that they have the strictest. I definitely don't believe that they have the strictest.
and there is no allowing for cultivation in the
And
state
there's
of New
no
Jersey.
allowing for cultivation, but in New Jersey, you can smoke publicly anywhere. Anywhere you can smoke cigarettes in a public thing. If you have your cannabis card, you can stand out front of the police station in the smoking area, smoking your cannabis, because you're legally allowed to smoke outside your home. Here in DC, even though you're allowed to grow and all those other things, they want you to remain within your property.
One thing I heard, I can't prove or anything, but the word on the street is, even though our governor in New Jersey has not seen fit to go full legalization in the state of New Jersey, they're waiting for a reciprocal agreement between the governors of Pennsylvania and New York State,
Well, I have a
and
few words to
maybe
say about
Delaware, a few others,
governor of New
if
Jersey
everybody to go legal.
who ran on a platform of legalizing cannabis, who stated that that was going to be one of his priorities, and then failed to fulfill any of his campaign promises. Not really happy with the way he wants to exploit that for votes, but then back away very quickly when it comes to actually supporting patients.
I don't know what his excuse was either. Honestly, I don't remember. I follow national much more than I do
Well, I can
state
I
issues.
can hook you up with the people in New Jersey. You have lovely people. They have their own weekly podcast.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, they're wonderful. Ever check them out? Their podcast is called The Sativa Cross. So they've been holding a podcast live in front of the State House in Trent, New Jersey, for several years now. Every Thursday they are there doing the morning till 4:20 thing, and celebrating and using and consuming right
You
there
know,
on the State House.
I have never been to Trenton. All the years I've been back in New
Well, you want
Jersey.
to go? I'll
but-
go with you sometime. Whether
Okay.
you and I go visit my friends.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds good. I know, I can go anywhere New Jersey Transit goes, and I'm sure that would be a really interesting video for my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that if they're anything like Washington, D.C., in that having places where you can get free Wi Fi, that is just so awesome. Free Wi Fi is like Nirvana, you know. So, so okay, tell us other ways that you can legally smoke in Washington D.C.
Well,
Like I've been
DC is
confusing.
pretty much in DC. People smoke very liberally outside,
I've
and
been smoking.
the
I've been smoking
officers do not.
uh any bench that is not explicitly federal property. That's what I've been doing it.
And they don't seem to bother with people because there's more important crimes in DC than they understand that. So they usually don't mess with you, even though it is not technically legal. But we're working on it. And though, if I wanted to ask all the people, no matter where you are, what state you're in, no matter what country you're in, whether it's Daga in South Africa or if you're in Australia, we have political prisoners who are in there for cannabis, and we need to get them out. Talk to your province, council, whatever, state, governor, president, whoever runs your country, your prime minister, release all our cannabis prisoners now.
I agree. So what are we, I'm sure we have petitions that are being circulated.
Well, each state's
And-
different. We have to work on each state individually, unfortunately, and each individual sometimes in the states.
So it's not like one blanket law change that ahead of state. That
It could be that easy, but that's not how they've gone. Even in when they try to do those clemency policies, the president said, "Hey, Obama did the whole huge rack of thousands of clemencies for different people." When he set it up, he was trying to make it easy. Then when they set it up, the commission makes it harder by reviewing the case and wanting to retry things and putting the people through hoops that are unnecessary.
that's total unnecessary
Yeah, totally
red tape.
unnecessary.
Bullshit.
So even if your state has got work done legalizing, you're welcome to write to other people in other states, work for them, make sure just because you've legalized, that's the biggest thing. Just because your state's legalized and you have full medical and you have full recreational, you've still left a lot of people behind in jail. They are not being released just because this stuff happens. They only get released when we change the laws about the justice system and their jail sentences. Just because it becomes legal, it's not ollie oxen for everybody come home until we get them home.
Good. So what can our viewers do on a local level? You're watching this. You want to do something.
Right,
You're fed
really.
up. What
Right.
do we do?
Well, you write and say, hey, I don't want any more political cannabis prisoners. We can't afford them. They pay $55,000 a year, almost more than we pay for any education for any child in this country, to keep them incarcerated, to pay for their lodging, their health care, their food, and all that other stuff. It's outrageous how the prison industrial
waste.
complex profits off these people, using them as a commodity and slave labor. So, talk to, say, look, no one belongs in jail for a plant. Say we have to release all our cannabis prisoners. Say they might have been in there for medicinal reasons. They were our cultivators, or our growers, our providers, the people who were shipping it to us when we couldn't get it any other way and we knew we didn't want to die. They were our providers, and we've left them behind.
Well, you heard it. We got to do something about it. Nobody should be in jail for a plant. And for those of us that it's not necessarily medicinal, but we love it, we should be really appreciative of the gains that we've gotten with the legalization that we've gotten so far. I think it is wonderful that I could be sitting here in a park in Washington, D.C., passing a bowl around, not having to look over my shoulder, just having to cover myself from the wind. I think this is so awesome. I think it's great that I could do the same thing when I go back to California.
Or New Jersey,
And, New Jersey.
you get a cannabis card, you can smoke anywhere openly in New Jersey.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to try for a medical
Well,
in
I'll
New Jersey.
introduce you to
but-
those people, and you'll see. And we'll work on getting a reciprocal in all states, because you should be able to go from California to DC to all these places without having to worry about going through Kansas or
Yeah.
some of these other states that want to incarcerate people for.
Yeah, I don't want
cannabis.
what's okay in one place it ends up being a felony in another, and then the next thing you know, you're fucked up for life. And that's what everything is. We're
Right.
afraid. We work so hard at following the law as much as possible, and it seems almost like society is hell bent to trip us up and fuck us up.
And automatic expungements of cannabis things, and we really have to look into it because what they do when you're with the judicial system is they pile on charges. It's not just a cannabis charge. They're going to put child endangerment. They're going to put within this part of a school or a park or within this, that, or the other thing. They're going to have 15 different paraphernalia charges. And when they
Oh,
finally get done, they'll drop the original pot charge so that when they go to expunge things, they say, you don't even have a cannabis charge. All you have is all these blah, blah, blah other charges, which are all cannabis related. We got to work on that. We got to get these cleaned up and get them off people's records so they're not holding on to their heads for jobs forever.
that this is going to be a big undertaking, but we have to do it. We have to take a stand. Okay, this is live. Or live when I filmed it in Washington D.C. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. And if you do, hit that bell notification when it looks like it's ringing. Then you won't miss anything. I'd love to have you along with me when I take you on my adventures. Washington, D.C. is one of my favorite places to hang out in. And I can't wait to show you more of it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.